Well, thank you, Steve. You gotta love it. I mean, you really gotta love it. You know, after you play in all of those basketball games, you really gotta love it. I love the game of basketball. To me, it made everything for me, but you know, along the way, besides the game, which by the way is having its 100th anniversary this year, and is the most popular game in the world, and it's getting more popular. It's the greatest game ever. Along the way, you meet terrific people. Jeff Neuman tonight, Bobby Knight, and just talking about the game. And Bobby Knight, we've talked for about a half hour now. We've covered 50 years. And we've come to the conclusion that Michael Jordan is the greatest, well, present company excluded, of course, is the greatest player of all time. And Bobby said, you know, he is the greatest player of all time because he does something incredible. He can get up in the air and make decisions. And I played against a player like that once in the late 50s named Elgin Baylor. And when I played against Elgin, I used to hold him to an average of 42 points a game. Because I knew exactly what Elgin was going to do. He'd give you a fake, and I wouldn't go for it. And he'd always go to his right, and I'd always go to the right with him. And he'd jump up in the air, and I'd jump up with him. Then I'd come down, and he'd still be up in the air. And that's what Michael does. He can get up in the air and make those decisions and just hang and hang and hang. And he is the greatest of all time. But I want to talk to you about another person today. I'm really pinch hitting for his college coach. Jack McCluskey coached him at Penn and was Jeff Neuman's coach there. And I didn't know too much about Jeff. I only had seen him a couple of times because I was coaching the Sixers at that time, but I was too involved with trying to get Wilt and Greer to do their job. But I knew that Jeff could play the game. And here's besides playing the game, Jeff also epitomizes one thing. And let me tell you this very, very old story, which I think makes the point. You know, this is recruiting time. And this old story is about this recruit going to a Catholic school, and he goes with his coach. And the coach says, they sat down with the head priest, and the priest says, I want to give you a couple of questions. It looks like you're on the team, but we want to make sure that you've got some credentials. So the priest asked this recruit, where was Jesus Christ born? And the recruit said, Harrisburg. I said, no. Where was he born? And the recruit said, Altoona. And well, the priest said, we're not going to take you on our club. And then they go outside, and the coach says, didn't you know he was born in Bethlehem? He said, you know, I knew he was somewhere in Pennsylvania. Well, that's a very, very old story. But Jeff Neuman epitomizes what the NCAA is trying to prove over and over again. Scholar athlete. This is a guy that they should put on those halftime blurbs showing the type of kid that the NCAA and college ball brings out. This is a guy who, after his basketball career was over, became tremendously successful in business, and now that he's practically retired at the age of 42 because he's done so well, he's giving his time towards a lot of cultural pursuits, giving money to charity, and helping others. And I think that's something that the NCAA should look into as a possible person. But let's talk about his basketball. Jeff played in the early 60s, mid-60s for Penn, all Ivy League. Greatest fast break, one of the greatest fast break guards in the country. He relates today to Bobby Hurley. When you see Bobby Hurley play, you're looking at the type of player Jeff Neuman was. He was the brains of the club. He got the ball to the right guy. He made the right decisions. And another great thing about Jeff, About girls, by the way, he's still a bachelor. And although, if you have any serious intentions, he wants a prenuptial agreement, I just want to tell you that. But here's a guy, he's Major League, he's Division I, he's All-Star. Here's the one and only Jeff Neuman.